All right, today on the workbench, not even on the workbench, I've completed this little test track. I think I'd posted this a couple of weeks ago with this Tam Valley Depot train shuttle. But then it was just kind of a rough idea, and now I've gotten it finished, got everything mounted. So I thought maybe I'd walk you through it. Uh, this is uh, a little DCC test track, I guess, if you will. 21-inch radius curves throughout the length, and I'll show you the length of it here in a little bit. But what I really wanted to show was this, how I configured the control panel. So we'll start over here on the left-hand side. This is a mini PCP cab. It's from RPC Electronics. This is, you can connect your NCE PowerCab with this, and it will run your layout just like the NCE panels do, except this is a little smaller footprint. Then here in the center, we have our Tam Valley Depot train shuttle, and I said it in the other video, they have discontinued this. So luckily I found this one, and this is a self-contained DCC system basically that lets you run a train from point A to point B. It'll stop and start at both ends, reverse directions. So I think it will make a great test track. That's why I wanted to make this. You can control your direction. There's a button here. I don't know if you can see that with the lighting I have there, but there is a button there for direction, and that's also the on and off button. LED light to tell you if your power's on, power's off. When it comes to the end section, it'll flash to tell you that it's getting ready to switch directions. This is the speed dial. You can set from that's 0, and then so you've got a full range of speeds there. These three buttons or knobs, they're not buttons, they control, you can read light, bell, and horn. They also control delay times. The way this is set up is there are 3 sections of track. Well, there are 3 sections on a single line of track, let's say that. At the end, we'll call that, and I'm not sure how they really don't label it on there. Oh yeah, they do. End 1, middle, and end 2. So this is end 1, middle, and end 2. This knob will control your delay time when it gets to the section of track at the end. Same way with this one over here. It controls the section of track over here. And this is the middle delay. And in my setup, I don't need that. You can use that, I guess a practical use for that would be if you were going to have say a train station and you had a passenger train or you had a trolley. You could pull in, set your middle delay time, and that would allow you to set at the station for a given amount of time. Then it would start. You could have that on an oval, so you could run around in a circle or whatever, come back to the station, stop for a given amount of time, and start back. So that's what the middle one does. The two end ones just control if you have a point A to point B track. So you're setting a time delay as to when it'll switch directions and go back to the other side. Now, the other part of that is you can run these. They'll run 3 functions on a DCC controlled locomotive. Now, with this system, it'll only read let's see, I believe it's just a 3-digit address, a short address only. So that's from 1 to 127. Nothing higher. So if you're going to use this system, you have to have everything. Most all locomotives that I've ever seen or decoders that I've ever installed, they always come as address 3. So when I use this system, I just change my address to 3 on whatever I'm using and go from there. And it runs just fine. But you can use from 1 to 127, short addresses. And basically, you just set it on the track, turn it on, set your speed, and you can control a light. You turn this to where this flat is 90 degrees, and then turn it back. And that will activate the light, bell, or the horn, which depending on which one of those you're using. So, and I'll demonstrate that here in a minute. Like I said, I'm just going through the control panel. Then over here, I have this is a double pole, double throw switch to separate these two devices, because you can't hook this system to any other DCC system. In the instructions it says if you do, you'll burn this controller up. So what I do is I have it set on this switch. One over here I have for the train shuttle, and then centers off, and then to the left is the 2. That is my NCE system through that RPC electronics panel. Okay, so that's how I divide these up. Everything is wired to where I can switch between systems on this. Okay, and then this is a double pole, single throw toggle switch. And you have to use that because the way this is wired, the 2 ends, I have probably around 18 inches of track on each end that have that control basically the delays on the end sections. So I have to have them separated out to use this. I don't know if that really makes any sense. It made sense to me since I put it together, but you may not kind of understand that. But basically I have to have this switch because the 2 DCC systems can't be hooked together. So that's part of that, what that's for. I do have it, yes, I have it wired coming in to the side here, and I'll show that here in a second. And I have one power supply that controls both. As you can see, this red light's on. So let me go ahead. I'll turn this on. Okay, now I've got a locomotive sit down here, and it is sound, and it's actually moving right now. So I'll speed that up just a little bit. And I'll flip that on. That's why that shut off down there, is because I didn't have that on. Alright, so it's coming back this way. Okay, you can see it stopped at that sec. That's where the cut was. And it reversed direction. You saw the light go out. So I'll let that come back. Okay, it's hit the other section. Now I'm going to increase the delay over here. I turn that section up. You'll catch it on the left side of the screen. Okay, you see that flash? Okay. That flash tells you it's reversing direction. And I can activate the horn. Yep. It's kind of finicky. There it goes. Okay. Let me shut that off. I'll turn that off too. But you could hear the horn there, so it is controlled with your knobs. The bell's also the same and the light's the same way. But now let me change my camera angle and I'll show you what I have all the controls mounted to. And I don't know how I found this. I was anyway, hang on a second. Okay, I've kind of changed that around a little bit, and what you see here, this plastic housing is it's a small tray for the back of a kitchen counter or kitchen cabinets. I just happened to open one of our drawers one night and I keep some little parts in something similar to this, and I thought, well, why can't I use it for that? It's perfect size, but it's plastic, so got everything all mounted into us, nice and secure. But it works really well. I'm glad I just happened onto that, really. But anyway, it's a kitchen tray or something. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's from Home Depot. So matches the PVC board really well. Okay, you can see over here on the right hand side where my that's the plug where the power comes into, and everything is fed through the bottom and then under, and I have some wire mold attached to the bottom, and I'll show you. Let me move that around and I'll show you that. Okay, I don't know if that's a real good shot or not, but you can see under here the wire mold that all my wires are fed through. And then you can see how that tray, you can see the wires in there for that. So I think this came out really good. I'll show you the length of it here. Okay, now you can see, I'll run down the length of this. It is 8 feet long, and those two in the center there, that's just a couple other test tracks I have. But that's 8 feet long down there to the end of it. It's, I believe, 7.5 inches wide, 21-inch radius curves. So let me start this. Actually, I've got it turned on. Okay, I've got that turned on. We'll follow that locomotive down through there. Okay, that's the section cut. Okay. Now we're coming back. and then it just starts over once it gets to that section. So, but that is, like I say, it's 8 feet long, and that locomotive's got a Digitrax decoder in it. For what it is, it is what it is. But we won't go into decoders. So I think this will be a really good, well, I know it'll be a really good test track. I can put things on my roller stands, and I can run things, and they'll run perfect. Take them to the club, and with the twists and turns, sometimes, you'll have a wire come loose or whatever, but hopefully this will eliminate some of that. So let me go ahead. I'm going to stop this, and I'll hook up the NCE system just to show you a little quick clip of that. Okay, so now I've hooked up the DCC system. This is my NCE PowerCab, as you can see, and I've got this locomotive programmed in already. And we'll go ahead, and I'm running out of SD card here, so I'm going to do this real quick. But we'll run. Okay, well, now I'll go back to where we were. You'll notice I had to change the loco. You have to set, like I said, it's an address between 1 and 127, and I had it set at 730. But anyway, while the phone rang, I changed it over to 3. But we'll go ahead and fire that sound up. Got my reverse light on, and we can run it. And it'll run till it'll run to the split in the track, and then I have to start it up again. But anyway, it does have full DCC compatibility. So any questions, just leave them in the comments, and thanks for watching.